All right, here we go. Round two. We're doing it with lenses. Same idea. This time, the only difference is I made my focal length 15 centimeters instead of 10, just so we have a little more space. Even though the lens takes up an approximate amount of space that's not zero, we're going to assume it's right down the center line, and that way we don't have to do a bunch with refraction. So the nice thing with these is they follow basically the same rules as the mirrors. First ray comes out parallel to the principal axis, and I'm going to draw it all the way until it gets to the center of my lens. This is your convex lens. In this case, vex is the opposite of, it's the opposite for lenses as it is with mirrors. This convex lens is converging, whereas the concave mirror is converging. When I get over to this point, I was parallel. Now I'm going to go through the focus. So I aim at the focus on the other side. Ray comes through. That's my first ray. You may want to extend these a little further out. This is the one everybody loves. It's super easy. You go right through the middle, and then you just keep on going. You just aim for that middle point and go right through the other side. I'll move that one a little bit, not the end of the world. Now on these ones, the closer your image gets to the focal point, the more likely it is to go down past where your lens is drawn. You can just ignore it and just go to the point where it is in the middle. On this case, I think I'm going to make it through the lens. So I'm going to aim through my focus on the near focus till I get to the middle. And then once I'm at the middle, I'm going to go in a straight line over. Oops. There we go. And as you can see, my rays aren't perfect, but you get the general idea. My image is going to appear right about there. Inverted, smaller, and real. All right, now we'll do the same thing. This one is where it gets tricky. A lot of people mess this up and forget which focus to use. The way I remember it is whatever my gut tells me to do the opposite, because you just think to use the wrong focus on this one. So in this case, first ray comes in. Going to go parallel to the principal axis, just like we've been doing. Middle of the lens. And now I'm going to aim. Normally I'm thinking, oh, I'm going right. I'm going to use the focus to the right. Well, in this case, you have to use the focus on the left. So I'm aiming at that left focus. The ray gets bent out here, goes up, and then I'm going to draw my dotted line behind, because we already know, since this is a diverging lens, that we're going to get a virtual image. Next one, this one's the easy one every time, no matter what. Just draw a ray straight through the center. So here we go, straight through the center. Goes out on the other side. Now technically, there's a ray that comes back, that's the dotted line, but it overlaps with this, so I won't worry about it. And finally, now, this is the one I really mess up. You want to aim to the opposite focus that you normally would. So normally, if I'm going through the focus first, I'd go here, but now I need to go to that one. So I'm aiming at the far focus until I get to the center of the lens. You got to make the noise or it doesn't work. Now that I've hit there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out parallel. So now I'll try to make it as parallel as I can to the principal axis. There we go. And then I will do a dotted line backwards. Well, that wasn't the best dotted line, and that wasn't the best parallel ray, but you got the idea. My dotted lines and then my one that goes directly through the center all line up here. And now I'm left with an image that is upright, virtual, because it's on the same side of the lens as the object. The only way you'd be able to see this is if you looked through the lens on the far side. So it's smaller, virtual, and upright. And hopefully our calculations over here help us do it. So on the first one, since this is a converging lens, I'm going to have a positive focus. 1 over 15 equals 1 over SI plus 1 over my object is placed at 40, just like before. So I'll do 1 over 15 minus 1 over 40. Take the inverse of that answer, and I get an image distance of 24 centimeters. Which if we look, hey, if this is 15 and this is 30, it's going to be a little closer to 30. That's right about where we would expect it. To find my magnification, I plug that 24 in. Magnification, image height over object height, but I take a negative version of it. If it's negative in the end, it should be inverted. So negative 24 over 40. When I plug that in, I get negative 0.6. I'd say that's about 6 centimeters. We can measure it just to be sure. We'll measure from 80 towards 70, and what do you know? That's about 6 centimeters. Perfect. The negative lets me know it's real, it's inverted. So, hey, we see what we got, and the math works out. Over here now, because I'm using the opposite focuses, because this is a diverging lens, as you can see from the rays that will never meet after they come out, I'm going to have a negative focus. So on this one, I'm going to put negative 15 in instead of positive 15. So 1 over negative 15 minus 1 over 40. Plug that in, take the inverse. When I do, I get an image distance of negative 10.9 centimeters, which means it should be about 2/3 of the way back from the lens, and it's going to be on the same side as the object. That's what the negative is telling me there. And what do you know? That's where I see it. Now we can plug in that negative 10.9, and I bet we're going to get right around 1/4 here. When I do that, I get 0.27. So that what that tells me there is, since it's a positive number, it's upright, and it's going to be about 1/4 its normal height. So I'm going to guess 2.5 centimeters here. What do you know? That's almost 3. So that's pretty good. Finally, like I said before, when you're right on the focus, things get weird. So if you're having trouble drawing rays when you're on the focus, that's okay. Don't use the ones that go through the focus to start. You can do the one that goes in parallel, comes back through the focus. And then once you're inside the focus, things are going to get really weird. Trust your rules and trust the math if you can't get those to work out. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to email me. Hopefully I'll be able to stop into class maybe 1 or 2 times, but good luck.